We're in today with the GeForce GT 130. This is a 2009 video card with 48 shaders and 1.5 gig of VRAM DDR2. It's got 192 bits bus width with DirectX 10, running at 500 MHz on the core clock and 509 MHz on the memory clock. I'm gonna pair it up with this Intel Xeon W3690 with 6 cores and 12 threads. I'm gonna jump in a couple of games and see if we can manage to fill up that VRAM. It's very interesting video cards, you know, and yeah. Let's see how it holds. Let's start with New Vegas. Apparently this game, it's exactly the right game to test this video card. Even though, yeah, I put it on 1080p with highest details, not ultra, highest details. And I think this is one of those examples in which shows you that the core is too weak. You know, even though nearly it's got 192 bits bus width, you know, but yeah, the core is not fast enough in order to deliver that FPS. You can actually see it's maxed out. 0.6 is buffering in the VRAM, and I think overall performance is great, but yeah, it needs to be just a little better, that core. On the other hand, you can actually see it's yeah, it's holding that high details with 30 FPS. I want to see how much is going to hold, you know. So in this case, yeah, I want to see how well it's doing with the memory. You know, the core is not fully stressed. I mean, damn, it's doing the job, but at the same time, I wish it was just a little faster. 8 minimals, 1%. This is not okay. You know, the system itself doesn't have any problems. You can actually see that it's only utilizing 6 gig of system RAM from the main system. No stress on the CPU side. Look at this. I want to show you. There's a couple of threads that are being utilized, but the overall performance on the CPU, it's kind of fantastic. So if I move to the GPU side, you can actually see it's using nearly 50% of the VRAM. 50% of the VRAM, you know. So it's got 1.5 gig of VRAM, but it's DDR2. So not that, how shall I say, it's not the faster RAM from the block, you know. And I wish I can trade the VRAM for faster core, you know, but then it will be a totally different video card in this case, because the video card is one unit, it's slim, you know. So in this case, it's got its purpose, you know, to fill it up, to put this video card in a computer that only allows one slot unit video card. I'm guessing that is the reason. But if we are jumping in World of Tanks with 1080p and minimal details, let me show you what I'm talking about. I have here minimal details with 1080p and 100% render scale. This is going to be very interesting because it shows me if the VRAM is doing the job. I know the core is going to be maximum, you know, so, but I'm looking for averages and good minimals. But I'm 100% sure I will have problems with minimals because, yeah, minimals with this video card. I mean, the GPU was released in the same year this game was, so I will say an overall performance needs to be good, you know, on average. I don't expect high-end numbers, and I don't expect high-end quality with this video card, you know. So I think per general there will be no problems overall. So let's see if we get the opportunity to do something. The CPU is not stressed, 6.9 gig of system RAM utilized, 30% maximum on the CPU. Let's take a look on the CPU side. There's a couple of threads that are being utilized, but that's it. On the GPU side, 53% load on the VRAM. So I will say this is a decent performance. The frame time is okay. There's not a lot of spikes. If I snipe through the bush, can I snipe through the bush? Yeah, apparently it drops to 50 or something, but that's it. You can actually see if you go through texture here, like bushes or something like this, you will see that the GPU is going to have a little problem, you know. The FPS will drop to nearly 40. In here, you can actually see 41. Yeah, different type of FPS. So on average, I would say this video card is kind of good, you know. So there is no problem when it comes to games that were launched nearly the same year like this video card. So I will consider them okay if you follow this rule, seriously. But in this game, apparently, we are going to see how it's running with 1024. 1024 with low details. This is going to be very interesting because there's not a lot of games that actually runs like this. So I will say an overall performance is going to be very interesting. The overlay is extremely high. Damn, can see nothing because of that overlay. But I want to see some stats. I want to see how the game is performing. It looks okay-ish, you know. I think you can adjust the resolution maybe in order to get better quality and performance depending on how you want. So in this case with 1024, I will say it's okay-ish, but I don't want to play it because I can see nothing, you know. I have to swap this resolution to a different type of one. Oh man, hardly managed to get a kill here. But it's working. Look at this, 0.4 gig of VRAM utilized. This is an average performance, seriously. It's not utilizing the VRAM. And the core is on maximum load, as usual, you know. Not that I was expecting other type of performance, seriously. It's working, you know. So this game for this video card is kind of great. I'm actually surprised how well it's performing with the system. So I think this game needs to be played on more computers, more GPUs, more older video cards like this, seriously. Let's see how it's running with Paladins on 1080p maximum details with 100% render scale. It looks fantastic, but you can actually see that the VRAM is really on point with this game. But the core, it doesn't hold it. Look at this, maximum details, and it doesn't give me only 30 FPS. So I think on this situation, I don't have any chance here in order to play it. So in order to benefit from this, I think I have to put it to 50% render scale. Let's try like that. If not, I will distress it by putting to low details. So with 50% render scale, you can actually see I got playable FPS. So I will say it's okay-ish. Like this, it's okay-ish. It's working like this with maximum details, 1080p and 50% render scale. You can actually see that the VRAM is utilized here with nearly 1 gig of VRAM utilized. So I will say the VRAM here, it's on point, but because I managed to put a couple of details in this, and it's kind of okay-ish. Can't complain. The system is doing a fantastic job. 30-40% load on the CPU side, 7.8 gig of system RAM being utilized. On the CPU, there's a couple of threads that are only used, so I will say it's okay. But if we're jumping into Black Ops 2 in multiplayer, you can actually see on 1080p with low details, the GPU, it's a bit laggy because of the core. You know, I have to do some adjustments here, but it's doing a fantastic job by starting the game and allows me to play it, you know. From this, you can actually see that I have a lot of options because 1080p with low details is not that great, you know. But if you are interested on playing the game, I think lowering the resolution, it will be okay. Let's put 1024. Let's start like that. 1024 with 70 FPS on average. I would say it's okay-ish, but yeah, not ideal. Not ideal game for this video card. There's a lot of games that actually works better, but it's doing 80 FPS, so can't complain here. Very ideal situation will be to have over 40-50 FPS on minimal, you know, but if I don't have it, that's it. I'll take whatever I have here, and it's working in this case. No, matanku. I'm averaging 20 FPS on minimal, 44 or 1%. Not that bad, you know. I will say an overall performance is good. I'm actually curious. I'm actually curious how much I got on the GPU side. 0.5 gig of VRAM utilized, 30% on the memory usage. Not that bad. I will say it's okay, you know, for this. Damn. I want to see how he managed to kill me. Damn. Aimbot. But if we're jumping in Start Conflict, you can actually see that the game is running with 40 FPS. I have 1080p with low details. It looks okay-ish, you know. I'm not gonna complain about this because it's an old video card, and I think it's doing a great overall performance, you know, considering the quality of the game, you know. So I will say, yeah, it's doing great. 1080p looks okay-ish, 40 FPS. There is no render scale in this case, you know. So I will say here, it's struggling to keep up with that number. All right, can I get some sound here? Yeah, all right. I think the resolution is too much, you know, 1080p. Let's look at it on. Can we put 720p. All right, this is exactly what I need from this game. So I got nearly 1 gig of VRAM utilization here from the video card with 720p. Low details. Core is maxed out. I will say this is decent performance overall. Enemy destroyed. Not bad. System, how much is using? Not a lot of systems, seriously. This is a great experience on 720p. It's averaging with 35, 32 minimals. It's using the card properly, and the system is not fully stressed. I will say decent, you know. Very hard to actually aim with that because I didn't understand the ship. How it's going to run, seriously, with 1080p on normal details with 50% render scale, I got 25 FPS. It's using the VRAM. Let's go into the garage and see how much is going to lag. You can actually see here in my garage, you know, with many cars and lots of GPUs, you know. I have a lot of GPUs, you know, in my garage. It's lagging with 15 FPS. You have to move on 1024 in order to benefit from this video card. I just wanted to go on 1080p with 50% render scale because I wanted to see if the GPU can fill up the VRAM. So in this case, you can actually see the core of the video card is maxed out. The VRAM is getting filled up. You know, the system itself is nearly 10 gig of system RAM being utilized on the CPU side. Not a lot of stress, so yeah, it's okay, you know. So in order to adjust this, I think we have to move the resolution a bit lower in order to get playable FPS. So in this case, I will say it's okay. In order to get better FPS, I think we have to lower the resolution in order to accommodate this FPS. I'm gonna put 1024, and I got let's see, 1024. Render scale, 50% render scale, and we're gonna put this small one because it's kind of big, you know. So I'm gonna take a look soon and see what amount of VRAM is being utilized. So in this case, you can actually see it's 40 FPS. Not that great because it looks very pixelated. The quality is not that good, you know. It's horrible, you know, but it's starting the game, you know. Considering the age of the video card, you know, the video card has got 1.5 gig of VRAM, but how much is utilized? 1.2. I will say it's decent, you know. So yeah, Casino, it's actually butchering even harder the GPU. Seriously, look at this. 28 FPS, 19 on minimal, 21 on 1%. Very hard GTA 5 on this video card, seriously. The only good advantage about this video card is the VRAM. So even though it's DDR2, it's got 1.5 gig of VRAM. That is a good thing about this video card. Second, it doesn't utilize external power supply, so this is the second good feature about this video card. Third feature, it's 1 unit slim, so it fits in some very dodgy cases and computers if you are interested on restoring an old machine. So do I give this video card a pass? I really give this video card a pass. Even though it's got 3 nice factors, the fourth one needs to be the most important one. It needs to be cheap. If it's cheap, this video card, then it's worth having a video card like this because it allows you to restore an old machine. And this is very versatile because of the size, the low power consumption, and overall it's decent with that amount of VRAM. That's the only thing. Why? Because in some old games you can actually max out the quality, and even if the core is slow, it will buff in the memory, and it will work. That's one thing I really like about this video card. Overall, it's okay, but it needs to be cheap. If it's not cheap, it's not worth it because you can find other video cards that are cheaper and faster. That's it. That's the only thing I can say about this video card, and I really like it overall. Seriously, I really like it. But it's 2009 GT130. You know, I think this is an OEM video card. So overall, yeah, I don't have any problems with this. So what do you think about this video card? If you have any suggestion, leave a comment down below, and I will see you very soon.